3, 2, 1. Welcome to Block Talk Radio in high fidelity. People tell me every day, love is gonna come my way. The gentle clue that I hope to find. Want something that's gonna last. I wanna live and forget the past. I know this change is gonna do me good. I know this change is gonna do me good. Even though it hurts me now, I know this change is do me good. Wonder whether we will know. Got a clue to let me know. Don't hold back now. Give me a sign. Wonder something really good. If you dream, you know you should. I know this change is gonna do me good. I know this change is gonna do me good. Even though it hurts me now, I know this change is do me every change is in a funny way. I'm feeling better than me. I'm gonna run back and all the feelings someday. I'm gonna live. I'm gonna I know the change will come in through. Even though it hurts me now, I know the change will do me good.
Aloha! Good evening. This is Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona with Spiritual Illness Productions on Blog Talk Radio and FreeConferencing.com and Ustream, establishing and maintaining our relationships through human bodies. Aloha and welcome to tonight's Aloha Live. Tonight we're talking with Chase, okay, you're going to have to help me out with that. How do you say that, your last name?
Kloetzke, the O is silent.
Kloetzke. Oh, really? Okay. So now, is that Polish or is that where's that from?
It's actually German. The last part is EKE.
Oh, interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. Interesting. So, yeah, thank you for being here. Now, you're all the way. I don't remember. You're in Chicago, New York, Florida. Where do you live at anyhow?
I am in South Georgia.
What? You're in Georgia? Holy cow! I didn't know that.
I'm in Georgia. Yes, I am. I'm right on the East Coast. You almost can't get any more southeast.
Oh, wow. I haven't been to Georgia yet, but I don't know. There's a first time for everything. Who knows? We'll see. But thank you for being here. And we're going to be talking to Chase about her book, her latest book, Admissible. You also have a children's book. I don't know if the children's book is the latest book or the Admissible one, but you can. What's the name of your children's book?
The name of that is Are Aliens Really Real?
Now, is that your latest book, or is it Admissible before that?
Actually, the children's book was the first one I wrote, and I really don't like taking credit for it because it was literally questions my 5-year-old grandson asked me about aliens. Aliens are all over their culture. This generation that, coming up today, it's in their video games, on their, cartoons. They love the aliens, and he knows what I do, so he just had a lot of questions, and I just wrote them down, and one thing led to another, and it turned into a book, and I couldn't be more excited.
Wow.
I did just sign with a publishing company to write 4 more.
Oh, interesting.
The Aliens Really Real series.
Well, oh, really?
Excited about that.
And maybe they can come up with a cartoon series from that as well. That might be interesting. Oh, interesting.
I know that would actually be a lot of fun because, of course, I don't answer that question in the book. What I do is promote that these kids need to, look for themselves. Don't be afraid to ask the hard questions, even in school. To think for themselves, do a lot of research, and don't be afraid to get out there and find your own answers.
Absolutely. Let them think for themselves, and that's actually a really good idea. Absolutely. So, anyhow, just to let you guys know, a ufologist, author, radio talk show host, investigator, researcher of UFOs, paranormal activity, strange creatures, conspiracy, and ancient civilizations, Chase Kloetzke has given the field something it has long needed: a concise, practical manual useful to both novice and veteran explorers of the strange. Admissible is the first field manual addressing the core of investigation tactics and case management for the most inclusive files and results for the modern and professional investigator of unknown phenomena. Written in an engaging style, Chase covers all aspects of an investigation, from field work and evidence collection to case file management. If you're interested in going beyond armchair research and want to actually investigate mysterious events, this book is essential. Chase Kloetzke earned her master instructor title while employed with the Department of Defense, armed with a biomechanical engineering accreditation. She was responsible for designing specialized programs and the supervision of complete success regarding force readiness, unique mission responsibilities, and elite force protection. This was achieved by understanding the goals and requirements placed on physical and mental strength assignments that are demanded and expected for today's active duty members and civilian anti-terrorist units. This includes assignments with Homeland Security and the private sector security forces as well. She joined the Mutual UFO Network in 1996 and was selected as the Star Team Manager and Deputy Director of Investigations through 2011. She was responsible for the program design, protocols, and investigation procedures for a national rapid response unit. This position included supervision of the most experienced investigators and access to the most sensitive and complex cases reported to MUFON. As of today, Chase leads the Special Assignment Team of experienced and specialized investigators in MUFON, responding to the reports that need specific and thorough attention. As an international CAG investigator, and what does that stand for, Chase?
CAG stands for Case Assistance Group.
Okay, got it. As an international CAG investigator, Chase focuses her attention on national UFO cases reported in Mexico, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Central America. As host of a weekly radio show and the voice of Fate magazine, Chase also joins The Nine, a cast of special broadcasting team of experienced and well-known researchers, investigators, and leaders in the field. This show is called Encounters and features a number of people, including Chase herself. If you want to get more on this, more on Chase, more on Admissible, you can always go to www.chasekloetzke.com, and that's Kloetzke, and the first name Chase, C-H-A-S-E. And again, we're going to come back and talk to Chase here in a few minutes. But first of all, I want to go ahead and give a big aloha to our underwriters who help make this show happen from week to week, month to month, year to year, beginning with Maha Dikini Lorei at www.mahadikini.com. Maha Dikini Lorei's life has been his personal journey exploring sexuality and spirituality for over 20 years. She's a certified tantra counselor and tantra teacher and a certified mind sound teacher. Maha Dikini is also a graduate of Margot Non's year-long Sky Dancer Tantra Facilitator Training Program and is a current member of the American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists Club, as well as a charter member of the Association of Sexual Energy Professionals. She regularly attends trainings and conferences to keep current with the latest research and information on sexual education. And then we have the 90-Day Ascension Journey at www.90dayascensionjourney.com. When you sign up for the 90-Day Ascension Journey, you will be facilitated with defining and redefining your soul, your true life purpose. You will be assisted with finding out what Ascension means to you on this journey. You will be provided with tools, techniques, and assistance to empower you to connect and reconnect with yourself, your emotions and feelings, in your mind, body, and spirit. Through a universal soul-centered process, you will be going through a lifelong transformation that will allow you to move forward with your endeavors and never look back. And for those of you that are interested, if you go to the 90-Day Ascension Journey or spiritualimage.com, you'll see a gift of a book, of that book, the 90-Day Ascension Journey. A few months ago, I went ahead and took the time to write the book to supplement this journey. And a lot of people can probably just read that book and find your answers that you're looking for. You can order it from there, the website, or from Amazon, or and also Kindle if you want to check it out for yourself. Anyhow, we also have the 2016 Star Wars USA UFO Symposium, Art, Music, and UFOs, The Evolution of Human Consciousness, at www.starworksusa.com. Join us for the 6th Annual Star Wars USA UFO Symposium, Art, Music, and UFOs, The Evolution of Human Consciousness, at the Aquarius Casino Resort in Laughlin, Nevada, from the 11th to the 13th of November of this year, to be hosted by Paula Harris, who is producer of Star Wars USA, an investigative journalist and author, and also Ronald James. Other speakers include Karen Ong, Erica Lukes, Mike Ibarra, and filmmaker Jennifer Stein. So if you guys want to check it out and get your tickets, you can always go to www.starworksusa.com and check it out from there. In the meantime, we're back here with Chase. All the way out of Georgia. I can't believe you were in Georgia. I thought you were in Florida or something like that. So, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I like Georgia people. I've met a lot of really nice Georgia people. So, Aloha.
That's funny.
So, Chase, a lot of our listeners probably don't know who you are. So, if you can kind of give us a rundown of who Chase is, where you grew up at, and how you where you went to school at, and how you got to do an investigation, how you got and how you even got to the military and doing all that stuff. So whatever, however you want to put it together, that's up to you. But I just leave it all to you. Go ahead, whenever you're ready.
Well, first, Andrew, thank you so much for having me on your show. This is awesome. And basically, I just have been curious my whole life. Read a book when I was 16 years old. I was home from school, 16 or 17, and was strep throat and bored sick. And my stepmother handed me a book called Chariots of the Gods. And I was, just horrified. I put it down and thought, oh, great, a church book. And after about an hour of even that desperate that I'll read anything at that point, I picked it up and was completely blown away by the content of the book. What hit me first was, first of all, who asked questions like that? Who absolutely reads the Bible and says, well, wait a minute. Can I ask a question here? I thought it was brilliant. And in a lot of ways, it gave me permission to think a little outside the box, all those little things that you go through your head when you're sitting in class that sometimes doesn't make sense, or you think that there could be another possible answer. Raise your hand and ask. So it really was that book that not only got me interested in UFOs, but really opened up for me to just kind of be out here and loving mystery and not afraid to chase them.
Got it. So if you can give us like a brief synopsis. And I've heard of that book before, and I don't think I've read it, but a synopsis of what Chariots of the Gods is about.
It's the Ancient Alien theory, written by Eric von Daniken. It was the first of its kind, and he's come out with many books since. But typically the TV show Ancient Aliens on the History Channel, that in the 10th or 11th season, just a brilliant series. Whether you believe in it or not, it's a great series with this theory. But it's all about the ancient astronaut theory. They believe that that aliens have been visiting us and probably were responsible as our makers.
Right.
And they go through all this evidence as to why. And of course, even the biblical narrative, they believe that instead of God, and that is plural, small g, that was misinterpreted as these extraterrestrials.
Right.
So it's a fascinating theory going on, but that's really how I got started. And of course, over the years, really, if you don't know what it is, I'll go look. I've been in the bowels of Sloth Furnace. I've been in the swamps of Louisiana, the Honey Island Swamp Monster. I've been in the attic of Octagon Hall looking for, little child ghosts. If you don't know what it is, I've been in the caves of North Carolina, looking for the Indaba, to the coal mines of Kentucky, looking for reptilians. So, basically, I am a ufologist first and foremost. That's my forte. That's kind of where I keep most of my energy, but I do love it all.
So you're also a paranormal investigator. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, what I've learned over the years as an investigator is if you follow a scientific method and you're following proper techniques and methodologies and strategies when it comes to investigations, it doesn't matter whether you're investigating UFOs, a robbery, paranormal, homicide. It doesn't matter. The process is the same. Evidence collection is the same. The interview techniques are professionally sound and orchestrated according to strategy. This has to be done right.
Got it. So now let me ask you this. So when you were growing up, did you see ghosts? Did you see aliens? Were you abducted? Were you taken in the ships? Anything unusual?
Not really. Just really drawn in by the reading and the books that I was exposed to. And of course, avid reader of Fate magazine. Who knew that 40 years later I'd be the voice of Fate magazine?
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, but Fate magazine was, kind of our newspaper at the time, or, it was our radio shows back then. It was the only place you were really going to get, these really true stories of the strange and unknown. And even Stephen King credits Fate magazine growing up. He and his mother would wait by that mailbox and Fate magazine would come in and they'd read it cover to cover. And it created, an interest in things that was scary to him.
Wow, I would never even know. Now, where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Rhode Island.
Oh, you did? I didn't know. I thought you grew up in Georgia, but now that's interesting, and it's interesting that you're even here, because I don't ever hear of Rhode Island people doing any kind of stuff like this at all, not even close. So that's very interesting. So now you,
And actually, New England is full of tales of paranormal activity, and it's known for it, quite frankly. We have a legitimate named vampire that is buried in Exeter, Rhode Island. Her name is Molly Brown.
Oh, really?
She used to be a vampire. They actually dug her up and scattered her bones and, staked her. And, it's Rhode Island. And, of course, Grant and Jason from the Paranormal TV show, another really big hit TV show, Ghost Hunters, on Sci-Fi Channel. They're based in Rhode Island.
Interesting. Wow. And that just kind of blows me away, because I would never think of anything like that going on in Rhode Island. I mean, it's such a small place, isn't it, to begin with?
It is. It is. You can go through you go through the entire state in 45 minutes.
I mean, but I also do know there's a lot of paranormal activity in the East Coast, period. And I know a lot of that stuff goes on over there, so that doesn't surprise me, in terms of that regard. So anyhow, and you grew up, were you a shy girl growing up? Were you pretty active, or how were you growing up when you were going to school?
Definitely a little laid back and shy, absolutely. I became fierce in my 40s. That's when my confidence level, that's when I became really fierce. But truthfully, just kind of quiet and shy. I did a lot of reading, kind of be out. Yeah, and even now I prefer more smaller groups and little events versus hoopla.
You know why you were shy, probably more likely is that you're probably famous in another life. That'd be one other life. Most time when people are really shy, I kid you not, I'm serious. They're usually they've been famous in other lifetimes or something. Yeah, usually a lot of times that happens. And so now,
I could definitely tell you that fame is something I do not chase. I do not.
Exactly.
I was actually asked the other day, like, Tim, why aren't you on one of these UFO shows? And I kind of looked at him and I thought, like, dude.
What are you saying?
It's not because I haven't been asked. I turned down Hangar 1, Season 1, and Season 2. I can't say all the TV shows I turned down.
We're bringing them on in a few weeks to talk to them as well for example. That'll be interesting. But anyhow, so you're 16, 17 years old. You graduate from high school. Now, do you go to university, or what happens there?
What I do is I get married.
Oh, really?
Yes, I get married young. And I have 2 sons, and now I have 5 grandkids. And, yeah.
You are okay.
Married over 30 plus years.
And you're still married?
Yes.
To the same guy?
Yes, I am.
Wow, that's impressive. Congratulations there now. So that's cool. And so you never did. So I guess what I'm trying to do is piece together the military thing.
I did go back to college.
Okay, that's
absolutely did.
Okay.
Yeah. It was after the kids were kind of grown and gone, and my littlest one was still home, but he was in high school, and they just don't need you. My mother and boys, they don't need you much after a while. And so I went back to school, and definitely went back to work. Landed a job with the Department of Defense, and as a biomechanics engineer, which I love the job. It's one of the best jobs I ever had. But my husband's active duty.
Oh, really?
It makes sense that I work for the Department of Defense because, we move around a lot, and doesn't matter where we go, I always have a job.
Was he in the Army, Air Force, or what?
He's Navy.
Oh, Navy, really? Wow, interesting. And so, okay. So, and was he a captain, or what did he do? Or what did he do?
He's a submarine commander. Yep.
Oh, really? Okay. So, and now, what did your parents do growing up?
My dad was a machinist, and my mom was a housewife.
Oh, yeah, home engineer. Okay. So, and that's not an easy job either for a lot of, especially a lot of women. Will tell you that. And you majored in biochemical engineering. You got a job with the Department of Defense. And how long did you do that for?
I did that job for, oh my gosh, I think it was 12 years.
Wow.
Don't quote me on that, but it was close. 12 full years.
So several years. Wow. And what would, and I don't know if you're allowed to talk about all this, but what were your duties, or what were you doing in general?
What they found with the Department of Defense, and I worked with Homeland Security. Probably the best story that demonstrates what I did was it was right after 9/11, and they were reorganizing the civilian task force and Homeland Security. And what they needed was a military-trained type unit to be brought into Homeland Security. So what they did was they transitioned the Coast Guard from the Department of Justice to Homeland Security. And it was my job at that point. There's these special units, they're called 9/11 teams. So down here in Southeast region, we have like 9/11-08 is their designator, and they're called MIST teams, Maritime Security and Safety teams, but they're the SWAT teams. What I had to do is take these regular Coast Guard guys and in 8 weeks turn this unit into, just hardcore, no joke. You would be able to tell them apart from the field and get them physically, mentally, emotionally ready for success. And that's really how we did it. Never failed a mission, ever, and I never had a failure. So my job was to get them ready for whatever specific task they were assigned to do. So say it was a Marine unit, and they had like a hostage rescue or whatever. Those guys will train over and over and over and over a scenario that they believe they'll encounter. And my job is to make sure, as I watch every move they make, that they have everything they need physically, mentally, emotionally, to make sure that what they're supposed to do gets done.
So you were coordinating these maneuvers, is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, I think those are mostly done already. My job was to make sure that, physically they were able to do it. So you have like a step-out team that needs to, fast rope, but they're doing a vertical insertion and they're going through triple canopy, but they still have 45 pounds on their back of root gear. How do we make that happen on the rope? How do we get them successfully out of that helicopter, through that canopy, and on the ground where they can operate 72 hours unassisted? It was my job to make sure their legs were strong enough. Mentally, they weren't afraid to do something like this. Does that make sense now?
Yeah, and I'm trying to understand if you were engineering those exercises, or if you were just observing and assessing and giving them feedback.
That's absolutely engineering exercises. We use the said principle. It really is that theistic and that specific adaptation for imposed demands. And so quite simply is if you need to be good at push-ups, you don't swim. You do friggin' push-ups. So, I would watch these maneuvers or look at their plans, and at that point, have to figure out exactly where these guys needed their strength, and, then you have to do a personal assessment on each, troop and every individual person that's coming to you at the time.
Wow.
I could have anyone from 1 person to 30, so I loved it. It was such a good job.
You must have been a real badass. I don't know what I say. So, man, that's pretty interesting. So, and going from...
I will tell you, you feel a little bit like that at times because I don't see the guys in PT gear. I couldn't tell you if they were officers, enlisted. Pretty soon you kind of could tell who's CIA, who's who's Navy, SWAT team, or a Marine coming down of CQB, or but literally, there were times when these guys come in and they're scared to death because they've heard my reputation and if they're afraid and they got steals, they're looking at you like, yes, ma'am. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny because about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I can't remember when, but within the last few weeks, I encountered a person that does exactly what you do, and here in the Phoenix area, and so we just talked a little bit, and so. He didn't give me all the details, but exactly what you do, that's what he does as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to the job because it's not just physical. There may be exoskeletons used, there may be other things, that we deploy in. It depends on the mission. But I will say that I was one of the first hired for this brand new division of biomechanic engineers for the Department of Defense.
Wow.
There were others in there for specific missions. So it's pretty cool to hear because that program was so successful that they're on every base now.
Oh, really? Wow. Wow, interesting. So that's cool, and you did that for almost 12 years or 12 years, and then what happens after that? How do you get involved? So at this point, you've done this for 12 years. You went to university. You went through the married life. You graduated from high school, and you still haven't had any paranormal experiences. Is it safe to say that at this point?
Well, no, through this time, I'm an investigator, because remember, I joined MUFON in 1996.
Yeah.
I joined ufology and started investigating in 94.
Oh, okay.
So I've been getting cases, since the mid-90s, kind of early 90s probably, but officially joined MUFON in 96, and, if you're a MUFON investigator, you get cases. It's the best part of being in MUFON, and you don't have to look for them, you don't have to, put out a website, you're going to get assigned cases. Because MUFON takes anywhere between 500 and 900 reports a month.
Right. So you started ufology around 1994, and I'm assuming that was something that was a craving of yours from the book that you read prior to Chariot of the Gods. And so I'm assuming that inspired that whole desire of yours. Is it safe to say that?
It is very safe to say that. I could not wait to get in the field, because by this time I've read everything from John Mack and Jean Ferret and all of them. Whatever was out there, I couldn't get enough. And I was ready to hit the field. And I was ready to start contacting these people and start hearing this for myself. And once you get out there and you start meeting your witnesses, you realize very quickly, especially between the three. So, I look for strange creatures, Bigfoot, paranormal, and UFOs. So what separates UFOs from all the rest is UFOs are a national security risk.
Exactly.
UFOs are absolutely, and it's a serious matter of not only national security, but the stakes are a little higher when you have witnesses telling you of encounters of everything from abduction. You're not really getting those stories from ghosts. So
exactly.
Even though the paranormal can be, quite dangerous and even treacherous if you don't know what you're doing, it's
the UFO category takes precedence over all of it. Interesting. I hadn't thought about that, but that's a good point, and you're right. Because there's the potential of threat from other communities, from other planets or galaxies or universes or whatever. So,
yeah, Andrew, they don't discriminate. They don't discriminate. It happens in every country. It's going on all over. There's reports as long as there's written transcripts, all the way back to Sumerian cuneiforms. We're reading about, these beings from the sky. So, and the other thing that most people may or may not realize is our witnesses, people kind of conjure up, the media has helped us, kind of form that opinion that the people reporting UFOs are kind of the teenagers drinking moonshine in the bathroom somewhere, right?
Right, yeah.
And it's not. My witnesses are astronauts that have actually been there, on the moon. Our witnesses are high-ranking military officials, politicians such as Podesta, who got Bill Clinton and, working with Hillary Clinton and got Barack Obama elected. And, very, sincere people, from police officers, some of the most credible people. And we can't forget the little old grandmoms, living in Kentucky, that Christian woman wouldn't lie to save her life. So, over the decades I've been doing this, it's very, very rare that you get somebody that's just thinking it's funny.
Wow,
and reporting something not true.
So are people taking these cases more seriously, do you think?
I think so, because the more it comes out, and the more people speak up and talk and report. And, you know, the TV shows help. The TV show Hangar One, MUFON was bombarded with more and more people that said, wow, you know, I had something happen to me when I was in the military, when I was stationed at White Path. I just didn't know anyone else was talking about it. And we get far more reports. So, you know, there's a lot going on. I think everybody out here in the UFO community feels like we're very quickly coming to a tipping point.
Oh,
they can no longer keep this a secret.
Got it. And it's interesting because when I was in the Air Force for 4 years ago, there was only 2 incidences that I experienced that could qualify in this realm. But pretty much it was, you know, quiet for me. I you know, just went out partying, when I hung out with the guys, when did my work, and went overseas for team spirit and all kinds of stuff. But never did I really experience any UFO activity, maybe some alien activity, or maybe possibly even abduction. I don't know, but you know, I haven't had it confirmed, and I don't have a great need to go find out one way or another. So I just kind of leave it all as it is. So I tell you what.
Only 1 in 10. About 1 in 10 witnesses will report the UFO. So
really?
When you think that MUFON alone, and MUFON's not the only database. You have the National UFO Network. You know, there's still ICOR. There's still a few databases out there. But MUFON will get 500 to, in fact, more cases than not, more like 900 reports a month.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, you know, you take that down to how many of those are spotted daily, and something's going on.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody's lying, and, you know, MUFON's been in existence since 1969.
Oh, wow, yeah. Now, I remember I talked to, I brought Jan Harzan and interviewed him here, and he did mention MUFON had anywhere from 700 to 1,000 cases.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure, you know, it's pretty close either way, whatever the numbers are. So I'll tell you what, let's go like this. Let's play some music, take a little breather, and then I want to come back and then jump into Admissible. And if you want, can you give us the ins and outs of that and go from there. So I want to send out love, blessings, healing, angels, and light and love to all these investigators all over the world that are looking to make a difference. They're looking to solve problems, to help you know, to just provide answers, as well as to all the kids and animals and the plants on the planet, especially the ones in need concern, to the President of the United States and all his family and friends, and to all those running for office and all their family and friends and their staff, and of course to everybody here on the phone lines in the chat room, all our family and friends, all our vehicles that help take care of us, and all our places of residence that take care of us. Anybody you want to add to that, Chase?
I think you kind of covered it, but I think that's
So
yeah.
To everyone else in needing concern, and again, I want to play now. When I brought Shamanatrix Missy Galore on for this album, Lovolution, Shamanatrix Missy Galore, she was in a contest, and this particular song, she had entered it, and in her category, she actually won in her the song won it in its category. So, and I can't remember the place that she was that this contest was happening, but there's pretty good artists in there. There's pretty good name brand artists in there. So, anyhow, Lovolution by Shamanatrix Missy Galore from her album Shamanatrix Missy Galore, and we will be back.
Shine the light, live your love. Every breath is a cosmic hug. The time is now, we know how. Living revolution with an open heart and an open mind. Open channel, pure divine. Love light flowing all the time. Living revolution. Living revolution. Living revolution. anymore. The time is now. We know how. Living revolution. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we don't have to wait anymore. The time is now. We don't have. Living revolution. Living revolution. Living. Living in love. Living revolution. Be the solution. Revolution. Be the solution. Revolution. Shine the light with your love. Every breath is a cosmic love. Time is now. We know how. Living revolution. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we don't have to wait anymore. The time is now. We know how. Living revolution. Revolution. Living love. Revolution. Everyone of us is so unique. The thing is the moment. A final world peace, all the micro galaxies, the land and sea, plants, animals, humanity, bacteria, photons, Mars, you know who you are. We're all one of one living on the different continents. Recognize, enjoy the love, balance, and harmonize our coming from creating
And we're back. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona. Spiritual Image Productions on Blog Talk Radio and freeconferencing.com and Newstream, establishing and maintaining right relationships between human bodies. Tonight we're talking with Chase Kloetzke about her book Admissible, and she grew up in Rhode Island. And your father was in the military, or what did your father do again? I apologize.
He was a machinist.
That's right. He was a machinist. So anyhow, Chase read Chariot of the Gods, which really gave her a boot and really got her inspired to really investigate UFOs and after that, she read all kinds of everything you could read on UFOs and aliens and so forth. And then she somehow got hold of a magazine called Fate. Is that correct?
It is. It's Fate magazine. It's been in publication since 1948.
Wow. So and has read, I don't know, I guess all the articles or most of the magazines are, and now is a spokesperson for Fate Magazine. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have Fate Magazine Radio. It's a lot of fun to, kind of be the voice of Fate and revisit some of the archives.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to remind people that, some of the biggest stories in the paranormal and even ufology, like Betty and Barney Hill, the abduction in New Hampshire, Fate was covering that in real time, like we do our blogs on, Facebook, right? And, even Amityville Horror. Fate Magazine was right there with their reporters and putting that out as it was breaking news from, DeTeo killing his family to the haunting with the Luke Lux disaster. So,
wow.
Yeah. Legacy Magazine.
I've never even heard of Fate Magazine until I started putting your campaign together, and so that's kind of interesting. So anyhow, and now so you start get into ufology in 1994. In 1996, you get into MUFON. You start working with MUFON, and now you're doing UFO investigations. And so now, and we're bringing you up to the present now. Have you had any experience with any aliens? I mean, direct experience with aliens, UFOs, or anything that you can say yes, that was a definite a realism type of a scenario or whatever?
Yeah, you can't be in this field as long and as active as I am. I'm definitely boots on the ground. I don't investigate from my house and a telephone. I get in the car and I go. And I've seen a lot of things I can't explain. And I've had several incidences where there's no doubt in my mind that I've witnessed something that can only be described as UFO or alien.
So you're working as a ufologist and also with MUFON, and is that at the very beginning, at the get-go, was that when you decided, well, we need to get together a better investigation procedure, a manual, whatever? And is that when Admissible starts to come into the limelight?
Actually, MUFON has a pretty decent field manual instruction.
Mm-hmm.
What I realized is, when I'm out there in the field, because I do everything, I wasn't just with, because MUFON only does UFOs. So, being out there, I always get asked questions, how do you investigate a UFO, or, what is your, favorite equipment, or, what's the best way to document an interview. And a lot of people had questions, and over the years, I just would get more and more of this and decided to, just kind of write the, from the field, this is what we've learned, this is what got us in trouble before, don't do this type of manual.
And is that what Admissible is doing, is answering some of those questions or focusing on some of those trial and error type of scenario?
Oh, definitely. Back in the day, they used to train us on how to put on a hazmat suit, in case there was a crashed UFO or even a crashed satellite or something from space carries disease with it.
Wow.
Or even radiation. So, and before, they would train us to put a hazmat suit on, and, there's a case in every crowd, my hand would go up and say, wait a minute, guys, why are we doing this? Because, one, how many investigators in MUFON have hazmat suits? Nobody. Number two, what do you want us to do with that hazmat suit when we come out of the field? Are you going to have decontamination waiting for us? What do you want us to do with that evidence if we do steal something? Because let's face it, it very well could be a Chinese satellite or something top secret from our own military, and now we have foreign dignitaries looking up who was the crazy person that went in and took some intelligence off that vehicle. I think, or how do you want us to analyze the evidence we do take if it's contaminated with that very source? It's like, wait a minute, guys, stop. This is stupid. We do not train people to do this. So, over the years, we just learned what's smart and what's not, because we have case after case of, investigators and even witnesses like Cash Landrum in Texas. The two women that were driving in the car, and they had, a grandson and Cody, the little boy in the back seat, and this object, and they get out and they look at it, and that woman suffered horrific health issues and cancers and tumors and, just a brutal existence, for the rest of her life because she got out of the car.
Wow.
It was, radiation and, and things that happen. So, over the years, we've just learned what we can do really, really well, what is the best way to get this information, and, how do we process, evidence properly? How are we going to get this when very likely, if anything came from space, it's going to carry a contaminant? We know that our meteorites do. Why wouldn't, an unprotected metal?
Absolutely.
We've gotten really good at it. Then what I discovered was if you're following proper protocols that are basically taught everywhere, just how do you conduct a proper interview to get the most information from a witness that they don't even realize is important? Well, it's the same whether you're investigating a homicide, a ghost claim, or a UFO. So that's when I realized, you know what, we can cover the whole gamut, because my book Admissible isn't how to investigate UFOs, it's how to do it all.
Got it.
If we stick with these tried and true procedures and policies, and of course the number one thing that I just start with is the ethics of it all to begin with.
Exactly. Absolutely. So now, so what's the format that you lay out in your book, doing just a general investigation?
Basically, it's let an investigator know, if you have never done this before, you're exactly right. What's the first thing you do? You would make a plan. So I get a call from a witness. I'm going to write down as much as they're going to tell me on that initial call. And then I'm going to set up an immediate, like the next day, I'm going to set up another interview, because what I need to do is kind of reread exactly what they told me, pay attention, and I'm going to work the background. I'm going to see, what else do we know about this? Is anybody else reporting this? Have there been other ghosts reported in this house? Who's owned the home before this? You do a little background work, and then you can execute an investigation or an interview plan for the next day, and then you really can hone in on a lot of details. So there's a lot of that kind of advice on exactly how to do that. I even offer forms. I offer chain of custody, interview sequencing plans. Sometimes when we have these large events like Stevensville, when you had 100 people show up because they all saw this object, well, how do you triage? Who do you want to talk to first? Because sometimes it's not always the main witness. Sometimes you want to go get evidence first, or, do you want to get that testimony first? And even in that, who do you talk to first? Who's the most important witness? Which two do you need to keep away from each other because you need independent accounts? All of this is explained in the book.
Interesting. So one of the things that I hear you saying is that you really, really have to have really good listening skills, and be not just hear the people, but really listen to your interviews. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes, and you just nailed it, Andrew, because I can't tell you, I actually had an event happen while I was on an investigation, and I had, another investigator say to me after, well, if I saw an alien, I would have tried to communicate with it. And I'm thinking, wow, you just missed the three most important sentences before that whole little alien thing that completely we know is happened with the Gusties, and they missed such a big chunk because they were just denied it. It's so amateur that they just jumped on what they wanted to hear versus actually listen to what the person said and missed the most important part of the story.
Absolutely. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you 100%. And you know, and with something like that, you know, my guess is that that person has never had an experience before, because otherwise their questions would be a whole lot different than that. I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure.
You're absolutely right.
Because what happens is, and I'm pretty sure that it's very similar with lots and lots of people. And when there's somebody encounters a frightening situation, a very aghast situation, you know, they're paralyzed. They're like numb a lot of times. They're in shock, and you just don't think the same way when you're out there and going to the mall or whatever. It's just not the same type of. And when people are violated, then they go through a whole series of stages of processing all that shock, all that violence, all that abuse, or whatever is happening, and especially if they're abused. A lot of times they're just shocked, and they still may go through similar stages anyhow. But I'm pretty sure that most or all these people that are doing and experiencing a lot of this stuff, paranormal stuff, go through very similar stages. Fright, shock, and then all of a sudden they want to rebel or scream or yell because they what just happened. They just want to just let it all out and because they're in such shock or whatever. So that's what
some of it is we have decades and decades of eyewitness testimony of people telling us that they didn't want to go on the craft, but they found themselves walking in anyway. They were controlled. They didn't want to lay on that table. They didn't want them inserting needles into their stomach. But, they would be told it was okay, go ahead and do this. So there was a lot of control, kind of that telepathy type of control. And that's what that investigator missed, which was huge. It was huge. It was basically the most important thing said by any witness testimony. And one encounter after another, people that have had a close encounter or have had an experience with, an extraterrestrial or biological entity in any way, shape, or form, whether it was abduction or just a close encounter, they have some sort of control over them. And so sometimes you can't help what you do. You're going to do exactly what they tell you to, even though you don't want that. And so that's what she had missed. And I kind of felt bad because obviously she was very amateur, but to make such a bold statement in front of so many people, like, well,
oh my God. Wow, and she's made it in front of those people, and on top of that, wow, that's not good. That's not helping. Wow.
But I think it was really the crutch of why I wrote the book, and of course I wrote the book with Richard Dolan. And I'm not an author. I'm a really good boot on the ground. I an investigation. So I gave him everything. I'm like, hey Richard, this is what you do when you do an interview. And he turned it into a chapter.
Nice.
So that's why the book is with Richard Dolan. But, this is the crux of all of it. We need to bring the professionalism up in our field.
Exactly.
If we want to be treated like professionals, we need to behave that way.
Yep.
We can't show off the goofy, vehicles with, alien heads on it. And, these witnesses may not have told their neighbors that they think they're abducted, right? So, for us, if we want to be treated professionally, we want the topic taken seriously, then we need to present ourselves that way. It's one of the things I hit in the ethics of the book, because when you take the responsibility of the title investigator, whether it's paranormal, Bigfoot, UFOs, whatever, you're telling a population of people that are frightened, terrified, they have nowhere else they can call. They're going to dial 911, they're going to call the military. No, they're going to find us. And what they expect is not a new best buddy. They didn't call find a friend or, hey, you know, I'm your new buddy. They want an investigator. So part of our responsibility with that title is to really get good at what we do and to leave some sort of record. Why would I do an investigation and not have a case file at the end that I have done everything I could that it would, if possible, pass the burden of proof, put it in front of a jury? That stuff is admissible, dude. That case is good, it is solid, and it would pass any jury. Any jury. That is our goal.
Got it.
To hand a witness who just felt absolutely helpless, alone, they didn't know what to do, how are they going to prove what happened? It doesn't matter. We have admissibility, we have a burden of proof, and we can reach a reasonable level that the public would understand. And that's why our discussion is changing out here from does confirmation trump disclosure?
And well, no, I gotta say this, Chase. I hear exactly what you're saying, and there's a lot of people. They don't care if it's proven or not. They just want to get it off their chest. They've never told anybody, and I don't know how many people I've had come on this show, not this particular show, or yeah, maybe interview, but just on one of my shows, and they talk about the experience. They've never told anybody except maybe one friend, and that's it. Never, not even their family or closest friends. And and they just want to get it off their chest and let it go and move on with their life. And that's it. Whether it's real, whether it's real or accurate or not, they don't care. But they just want to let it, get it off their chest, and that's it. So, and there's so many people that are like that.
Properly take their statement so that at the end they have an archive. Because if they're going to tell you it's a contribution somehow, because 5 years from now, somebody else is going to tell you something that all of a sudden those two pieces come together and it makes a little more sense.
Exactly.
Or you can call that witness back and say, hey, guess what? Somebody else just reported, the exact same thing. So, right in your neighborhood. It's very important that we have due diligence to be as professional with our witnesses as possible, even if it is just taking a statement. And I do these a lot. I'll just record and archive it. Sometimes they don't even want it, reported to move on or anywhere else. They just want someone to know and to archive it. But what I try to do is to at least ask them to give the content out, and we'll keep their name confidential. Because it all matters, guys. It's all coming together. There's a story and all these pieces. We're getting hundreds of cases. Hundreds of people all over the world are saying the same thing. Got to be evidence in there somewhere, right? This is how it works. For every person that comes forward, they add another nail into the foundation of the UFO phenomena.
Absolutely. And more people are coming forward, every day, literally. I'm sure of it. And so, and back in the day, 70s, 60s, especially 60s, 70s, people might talk about something like that, but it would be hush-hush or something like that. But in this day and age, more and more, people, I'm pretty sure, are coming forward, and they feel more comfortable, confident. But the other factor is, sometimes these people don't even remember their experiences till years further down the road. And one of my situations, I had an experience with these two women in California, and I didn't even remember that whole experience till 5 years later. And then all of a sudden, memory recall kicked in, and then I remember that whole situation. And to this day, I don't know what those women experienced or didn't experience. I have no clue. I haven't talked to them since. So that's been, but it's like that. And a lot of people may not remember, stuff for 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years down the road, and then all of a sudden they remember whatever happened, the event or whatever, like that. So so basically you gave you laid down the foundation for admissible, and then Richard Golden filled in the rest, the rest of the gap. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, he's just brilliant. He's authored, what we consider in ufology source material, absolutely, the Bibles, he's very, very good. He's a historian,
Really?
Oxford as a historian. So yeah, he's, just brilliant at this, and he actually approached me to do this book. He thought that it needed to be out here, and, more of a common sense. So it's not just like buying a field manual that's just cold and chapters. There's humor in it. I think these little side notes about don't go down the rabbit hole, or, there's, just things that we've learned out here, silly little things.
Got it, nice. So what are some of the more interesting investigations that you've done that have actually been solved or resolved, or do you feel like there's maybe it's still ongoing? I don't know. Or, wherever you want to take it, go ahead.
Well, right now I'm heavily embedded in the skulls, and all the skulls. I work with an expedition team. Ellie Marzulli does a documentary series, Watchers, and we're the first scientific team to actually go down and do forensic examinations and collections on the elongated skulls of Peru. The ones you see all over TV, all over Ancient Aliens. They've never been investigated. They were cool, but what do we have? So I went down to Peru and Bolivia, and, we're just doing a lot of the UFO cases in South America because they're very prevalent coming out of that area at this time. And, I took almost 100 forensic samples, and we started getting DNA back. And so this case is moving forward. Well, as a result of that, there's a skull. It's called the Star Child skull. And for 16 years, a man named Lloyd Pye investigated the skull, and he believed it was alien. And it's an alien skull. It's a remnant of it. And unfortunately, he passed away about halfway through his research. He had some tests done, and I've been asked to pick up the reins on that and lead a brand new investigation. So I have the Star Child skull now, and actually leaving next week back to Peru because we found more skulls that need, that comparison sample for us to meet that admissibility, and of course the burden of proof when it comes to forensic and peer review. So all of this information is going to be really pushed out into the scientific community, and for the first time in history, we're going to have peer-reviewed scientific evidence, whatever it comes out.
Wow.
So that's always my first point. I don't care what it is. I just want the truth. So whether this is human, whether these are hybrid, whether these are, complete aliens, I just want to know. And I need to prove this scientifically. So that's what I'm in the middle of right now.
Wow. Are those the same skulls that Stephen Greer was bringing out to people and showing people?
I don't know. I probably.
They were really small aliens, like about a foot and a half tall or something like that, 2 feet tall or something like that. And
no. I actually on my Facebook page, if you go to my Facebook page and my photos, I actually have one of those just like his, and we know exactly what it is. And it's not alien, and I don't think he proved that his was. So you're talking about that serious alien.
Maybe, I don't know. And this is a few years back. He presented them at the MUFON conference symposium in Vegas, Las Vegas. I think it was 2012 or something like that. I can't remember when. But 2013. Right. And so he showed a bunch of pictures of them, and they somehow smuggled them, or I don't know what, but they got him into the United States and were able to investigate them, and I don't know what results they got.
Yeah. We work, I think, very on an ethical side. The Ministry of Culture in Peru, they're very generous, but there's ways that you need to do this properly. And, stealing artifacts, especially ancient artifacts, not a good idea. Exactly. Not a good idea to smuggle that stuff across the border. It doesn't even make you look good.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. We have spent almost 2 years getting permits to do this, and it's all to the credit of L.A. Marzulli and Richard Shaw, who is the director. These are award-winning documentaries, and of course, they're biblical. They're evangelic, and they believe that this phenomenon is cosmic and straight out of the Bible, and not necessarily extraterrestrial, biological entities. So, they believe that these are remnants of the Nephilim. And yes, and that's where we're going down. I'm the heathen of the group. I just get on a plane. I get on my gear. I go down there and take the samples and just love it, because the best thing, Andrew, about being an international investigator, and right now I'm the national director of Mexico, Cuba, Belize. I got like 7 other countries, but mostly run South America when it comes to MUFON cases. And first thing I learned is that not everyone thinks like we do. They have no problem believing that they're star children, or that there are other beings that come from the heavens.
Right. I
am standing in the middle of this desert, and it's in Chongos, Peru, and it's just right outside of Caracas. We had just gotten done with all of the big elongated skulls, and we're walking over human remains everywhere. And there's a step pyramid there. Well, the museum doesn't even know about this one yet. It's so off the radar. There are so many pyramids in Peru, they can't keep up. Wow. I'm standing with the mayor of Chongos up on this pyramid, and he's telling me about the UFO that took the water, and he's pointing, way out in this little field. You can see that there used to be like a giant lake. And he's telling me that the village people there rely on the water for their cattle. It's a big farming, outside of the desert part. You can see where it's literally jumped to beautiful lush and green. That's Peru. Huh. But he's telling me this. So I'm looking at Andrew, and I'm like, well, do you want me to go get samples of, the dry lake bed? Maybe there's residue technology or radiation or something. Exactly. And he's looking at me, and he's like, no. He says the UFO kept coming, and it took all the water. And it took a minute, Andrew, for everything to process. Now, here's the mayor. He's surrounded with his security guard. I have pictures on my Facebook and on my website with him standing with his security, armed security, by the way. And, and he's just talking out loud. There's no shame. And he looks at me, and then all of a sudden I get it. He's thinking, just like his investigators, if he has a problem with a townsperson, he sends them out and they fix it. He's trying to tell me, thinking as a UFO investigator, that I need to tell the extraterrestrials, to stop taking their water because they need it and it's pissing them off. And I just looked at him, and when I explained to him, oh, no, that's, I just investigate, and, I get done, and he kind of put his hand on his hip, almost like, well, like I wasted his time. And he's like, well, you come to Peru for UFOs? And I'm like, oh, yes, sir. And he goes, don't you have them in the United States? It was hysterical. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Holy cow. Well, everywhere we went, people were so quick to tell us about, what they've seen, and, what they know, and what they've been told their whole life through oral tradition. And what I found is, Americans, Europeans are cocky, and we're arrogant, and we need proof of everything. And these wonderful, wonderful, loving people just understand there are bigger things than them. Right. And it was I can't wait to get there. I leave next week. I'm already packing. I cannot wait. I love Peru.
I can tell you this, Chase. This is I can tell you. Over the years of all the things that I've come across and all the spiritual information that I've come across, basically everybody in this universe is bound by universal law, literally universal law. And it doesn't matter, what civilization you're part of. Man-made law is man-made law, but even man-made law has to abide by universal law no matter what. So with that in mind, if these beings, these UFOs are from another galaxy, another planet or whatever, then they too have to abide by man-made, by universal law. And so if this mayor and his people were to literally voice themselves, and I'm saying, they just have to put it out there into the universe. They just go to the lake where that water was at, and then look up into the sky and say, hey, you people need to bring this water back, and you don't have the right to speed it. You don't have the right to take it. You need to return it right away. Literally, just like that. Go to the lake and yell that out into the sky, and I can guarantee you that there probably will be some shifts that would happen, that would take place, and maybe something that might be helpful for them.
We did kind of give him that advice to just, let him know that, when they felt like that presence was around, but, there was probably, it's just good to get out of the borders of the United States every once in a while when you're so passionate about anything, whether it's ghost hunting or, to go to another country and to just see how that culture embraces one way or another. I think you become a better investigator, but if you can't, Facebook, Twitter, I mean, the computers opened up the whole world. We can now be intimate with.
Exactly, right.
And have all these great new songs, and, it's just wonderful, but just really excited about, some of the work that's coming up, and 10 years ago, we couldn't get science to do, test anything
exactly,
for
right.
us, and now
they're on edge for them themselves as well. So now, if these ships are actually from the other planets, other galaxies, and they are evolved beings, then they according to universal law, they'll return that water. They should return that water, and they'll be obligated to do that. But if they're not, if possibly underground or black ops type of thing or something like that, and doing that, then that might be a whole different story. And with that in mind, they probably won't return that water, whatever.
there is a moment of pinching yourself when I literally, just sat there and for a quick flash of a moment realized I'm standing in the middle of Chongos, an necropolis littered with human remains, on top of a friggin' pyramid, talking to, the mayor of Chongos, who is amazing, by the way. He's such a sweet guy. Telling me how he's mad because the aliens are taking his water. I'm like, it doesn't get any better than that, Andrew. It really
well, but I mean, if you talk to this guy again, that's the advice you can even tell him it came from Andrew Aloha if you want. So that's the advice I would say. Hey, literally, talk to the sky and say, hey, you need to return that water. I mean, that's not right, and you're stealing it, so that's not cool. So we have a question here on the air, area code 918. Aloha, area code 918, you're on the air.
I just called in to listen. I'm not able to show, but I didn't push one.
Okay, so you had your hand up to ask a question, but okay, that's fine. And thank you for.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Thank you very much. Aloha. So anyhow, in fact, they had a question as well. Look back to this. Anyhow, so what now, Chase? What happens now? what's the next step? What's beyond? I mean, what happens now with Chase? And I mean, are you funded for a lot of these programs all over the country that we to go to wherever and do investigations?
The investigation to Peru is funded. L.A. Marzulli is funded through mostly the prophecy community. This is a guy that will go to these evangelical prophecy conferences and, he'll get, $100,000, donated by the time he walks out. That's funded. Everything else is out of my pocket. I have never accepted a penny for, investigating anything, and even the testing.
Wow.
It's very expensive, which is why it takes a little longer, sometimes to get these, evidence cases completed. But, the money does come in. I always feel like, Andrew, if I take money, they want something, and that's always been it. Nat Geo wanted to sponsor the investigation with the Fairchild skulls, but they wanted exclusive rights. This story belongs to humanity. This story doesn't belong to some guy that gets to control what and
exactly.
Absolutely. So it's going to take us a little longer, but I don't owe anybody anything. I just owe the truth, and I'm good with that. But this comes out of my pocket. What's next is I go to Peru. We're going to be doing a lot of scientific examinations, and I'll be collecting a lot of forensics on certain pieces of new developments coming out of Peru. Then I fly straight up to Milwaukee. I'm speaking at a conference in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which I'm very excited about because it's a paranormal conference. So they have 2 people from ufology, 2 from cryptozoology, and 2 paranormal people, including Katrina, who stars with Nick on Paranormal Lockdown. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then I'm going to be in Kentucky. I fly into Kentucky, investigating Octagon Hall, doing a big Halloween special. And then I'm hoping to actually be home for November and December.
Oh, wow.
And then I'll start again in January.
Now, are you still working for the Department of Defense, or you're not doing that anymore?
No, I am UFOs, investigator full-time now, and really enjoying, putting that time and passion in. Being retired, my husband's actually retiring this year, too, so I'm hoping to throw him in the car and we just go. I've always dreamt of doing this, and I get to, and I'm very excited about it. But you asked who funded. If I get any funding, I have to give a lot of credit to my husband. So my husband funds most of this work, and he's very generous with me, letting me do what I need to do.
Nice.
I owe a lot to him, actually.
Wow. That's amazing. So I commend you, and I applaud you for all the service that you've been doing. But you must love doing it. Just like I do these radio shows. I don't make any money on these shows, but it's a service to help people, find answers and whatever else. So you must love what you're doing. I'm sure of it.
Well, you're telling the stories that they're not going to hear on mainstream media,
exactly.
And they're not going to get. We lost our objective media a long, long time ago, and they're going to hear the truth on these types of shows, Andrew. So, thank you for doing this each and every week. They're not easy. I will tell the public these shows aren't always easy, but they're fueled by passion. Absolutely.
Yeah, no kidding. But it's funny because I know a lot of people from all kinds of walks of life check out these shows. So I guess this person changed their mind. I'll go ahead and we got a couple of minutes here left. Aloha again. You're on the area code 918. What's your name? Where are you located? And how did you hear about it?
It's Claire.
Excuse me?
I just was seeing what was on. I had a question.
Okay, so what's your name, ma'am? And where are you located at?
I just said my name is Claire.
Oh, Claire, I didn't hear you. Okay. And where are you located at, Claire?
Okay.
Where?
Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma. Okay. Now, have you been on the show? Have you been on one of our shows before? Did you sound like
Maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, you sound familiar.
Some time ago.
Okay. So, Claire, go ahead. What do you have for Chase? Or what kind of question? Go ahead.
My question is, with the UFO, with the other intelligence that come through, my understanding that people that get abducted, a lot of times they're RH negative. I've been RH negative for 7 years. I gave birth. I became RH positive. My blood actually changed. And I've had experiences that I don't normally talk about. Have there been an increase in those visitations, or how do I ask that? I'm not for certain now.
No, that's a great question, Clara. And honestly, the RH factor is very important in the research we're learning when it comes to everything they're called abductees, experiencers, or even the chosen. And blood types will change. I remember a case with Tom Reed where his blood type has changed as well. So these are things that are reported. Very much. We also hear, green eyes. There's a great survey.
I have heard the green.
Yeah. And Kathleen Martin, who is the niece of back in '62, Betty and Barney Hill, one of the most famous abductions, one of the first came out on the record. She has a great questionnaire, and it could be done completely anonymous, but it would help you kind of dissect your experiences in a way that's non-traumatic. And I would highly recommend you looking into maybe taking that survey, because that will let you know kind of where things are sitting with you. It's designed to let you know if you are an experiencer and to what level.
So, Claire, I'm going to go like this. Claire, we only have a couple of minutes and we're out of time. But what I'm going to say to you is that what I'm hearing you say is that you would like to make a report of some of your own experiences. Is that correct?
I don't know where I would report it to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Again, you can get a hold of Kathleen Martin, who would help you with that. And also, if you go to the MUFON.com or MUFON.org website, there's a place where you can make a report of your experiences there as well. And it will be looked at.
I'm not going to do that publicly. No way.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're more comfortable, contact me personally. My email is my name, Kloetzke @yahoo.com. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, my website. Maybe Andrew will post it in the chat room. Contact me personally if you would like to keep it more confidential.
Absolutely.
And I can hook you up with these right after.
Andrew?
Yes.
Andrew, could you please give my phone number to her?
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I got your phone number on the switcher, and I'll
I know Thomas Short. Thank you.
So, I want to thank you for stopping by, Chase, of course. Thank you for stopping by and sharing your valuable information with us. And I know that the stuff that you're doing is definitely in the right direction. And I think sooner or later, mankind is going to make a leap and get with the program. I'm sure of it. I guess it's just going to take some more time and just go with it. But with people like you, I'm sure that we'll get there sooner or later. Hopefully sooner than later. But that's the point. Anything else that you want to say real quick? Again, your Kloetzke.com. If you can't find that, you can Google that. You can go to my website, spiritualproductions.com. Google go to Andrew Aloha Live on that page. All of her information is there. And you can get a hold of her there. So anything real quick you want to say right now, Chase?
Just what a pleasure it's been sharing this time with you, Andrew, and what great questions, and just thank you. You're wonderful. You are truly wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone else, for stopping by. Have a goddess weekend, or I guess week. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.
on Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, and that is a wrap. You still with us, Chase?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, how are you with that? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that was fun. Thank you.
I don't know how often. Well, but you've been in the media quite a bit, haven't you? Have you done quite a few interviews and stuff like that?
I have, yes.
Yeah, I figured as much. So that's why I wasn't really worried about you freaking out or anything like that. But and again, I'll be probably putting this on YouTube in the next few days, and then you can check it out from there. And if you want to put that on your website or whatever, you can of course always do that. Now,
yeah, I was going to say, if you send me the link, I will absolutely post this on my website.
Oh yeah. I'll be sending you the links of all the different places, literally, that you can listen to this show at. And literally that's got 4 or 5 places, including the YouTube, at least. And so I'll send you all those links, and then that way you can check them out for yourself. But what else was I going to say? I don't know. Yeah, I was trying. Hang on, let me see if I can do this. But I tried to find you on Facebook, and for some reason all I got was blank pictures, and that was it. And I know there was a Peter Kloetzke, or something. I don't know if that was your husband or whatever, or that's your husband or whatever. But there's.
Oh yeah, that could be my son, but yeah, it should just be under Chase Kloetzke.
Yeah, no, I did. I found Chase Kloetzke, but all I found was a blank. There was nothing, no activity, and there was a blank picture, and that was it.
Ooh.
So I don't know if when's the last time you checked your Facebook, but here I'm gonna check right now.
I am. I'm on it all the time.
Huh. See, you're just like me. Facebook. So you're using an alias name. That's why. Let me see.
No, I'm not using alias. That's my name.
Huh? Yeah, it says, okay, I just went onto your website. I clicked on the little Facebook thing to take me to your page, and it's like it does the same thing that my Facebook thing does, and it sent me to a page that says sorry, but this person is not available right now, or whatever. So now if Chase and Pete is at the very end of that Facebook title. So let me see.
Oh, here, I just liked your page.
Oh, you did? Okay. And I just put in your name, and it's not coming up. So okay, here let me.
That is so weird.
I'm sorry. I mean, and you just said you just liked me.
Yeah, I just liked your page. Let me see.
And because I was gonna put, because I always go and put some of the stuff on people's Facebook pages. That's why I ask for the emails and their information so that they can keep abreast of everything that's going on. And so.
Okay, and you have here I'm gonna put my link in your message.
Okay, your link
on your page.
On my page. Okay. Are you going to my profile page, or are you going to my fan page?
What came up was, it looks like a page. It looks like your fan page.
Okay, yeah, I have both a profile page and a fan page. Now, you went to like on my fan page, okay. Hang on a second. Let me go there. See if I can find you there.
And I put it in your private messages.
Okay, let me go to my fan page. There must be a lot of people on Facebook because it's not coming up at all. Come on, like today. Okay, let's go with it. Do you have a fan page?
No.
I would strongly suggest that you get one. Like yesterday. Thank you very much. You must be one of those dinosaurs that doesn't like technology, huh?
I don't know, I just have just a normal little page.
Yeah, I would recommend doing the fan page thing. A lot of times it's just easier. Let's see. See if I can find your like. I mean, you should. Oh.
I put on your fan page, I put in your private messages.
Okay, yeah, you see you message me. Okay, let's see.
You probably see a picture of me holding up a MUFON sign over Steve Hudgens.
Let me see. I'm going to the message